Oh, I feel like such an old man. How long has it been? 20 years? 20 years! 20 years, 2 decades. Can you believe it's been that long since Sega released the Dreamcast in America? One of the most pioneering, most loved consoles of its time, and still most loved today, even though it didn't last very long. But today, we're going to celebrate 20 years of the Dreamcast by looking at the top 5 games of all time, the definitive list of best Dreamcast games. In number 5 is Crazy Taxi. It may seem a bit simple on paper. You pick up a passenger from A, you take them to B, get some cash, everybody's happy, bit of a snooze fest. But Crazy Taxi was exactly what it said on the tin, crazy. You didn't have to take the road, you could go on land, you can go across the beach, you can go in water if you wanted to, taking passengers to their destinations in the fastest time possible, getting paid for it, pretty crazy. It was absolutely frantic, a really much loved arcade hit, and such a great thing to have in your living room. Welcome to the stage of history. Yes, it is Soul Calibur, one of the greatest fighting game franchises of all time, still most loved today. Tekken, Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, no, it's all about Soul Calibur. Imagine being able to punch with your hands or jab someone with a sword or a shield or spear. Soul Calibur is all about weapons combat and truly survives the test of time. 20 years later, Soul Calibur is still one of the greatest entries in the Soul Calibur franchise, really helped propel the Dreamcast into a fighting game machine. It was such a fluid, flowing game, introducing 8-way movement, new characters, old favourites, and is still a great game today. Keeping that fighting theme, game number 3 is Project Justice. You what? What's Project Justice? I've never heard of Project Justice. Yes, Project Justice is one of the greatest fighting games of all time, featuring a crazy anime school cast duking it out for local school territory supremacy. It sounds a bit wild, it sounds a bit out there, and it's truly unique. Crazy combos, 3-on-3 battles, one of the most flexible, dynamic fighting game franchises out there. And it's a shame it's still left in the past. What are you doing, Capcom? Bring it back. We really want to play more Rival Schools or more Project Justice. Please, more Project Justice, please. Ever wanted to go to Japan? I sure do, but I can't afford it. So I'm gonna play Shenmue instead. You follow the story of Ryu, who's unfortunately avenging the death of his father, who has been killed by a bunch of treasure-seeking mobsters, and Shenmue is that story. A sweet tale of love, of loss, of adventure, of discovery, of really finding yourself through Ryu. And it's such a dynamic game. And it's such a defining game of its time. It's slightly quirky, it's very much Sega, and spawned a sequel, and now wrapping up the trilogy, hopefully soon, with Shenmue 3. Last but not least, it's Sonic Adventure! Yes, that's right, this hedgehog is the #1 game on Sega Dreamcast. No question about it, Sonic Adventure is one hell of a ride, featuring Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, Amy, Big the Cat, and that robot, cool robot dude. And they all come together to try and stop Eggman from being an absolute twat. Yes, Sonic Adventure is a grand game where all the stories interconnect. You've got such amazing characters, crazy locations, a stupid amount of glitches. The game is riddled with glitches, but lovable glitches. Glitches that you can probably get by on. Sonic Adventure is a medley of pure Sega awesomeness in one little package, and is our #1 Dreamcast game. Well deserved. Well deserved. Yes, yes, yes. Well done. Haha. If you guys can get your hands on a used Dreamcast somewhere in a market or in a retro store, definitely pick one up. It is well worth the money. Dreamcast may have not had a long shelf life at all, but it is a treasured piece of gaming history. And thank you so much, Sega, for giving us this thing. If you guys love retro content, gaming, Sega, Nintendo, all sorts of retro goodies, be sure to hit that follow button, and we'll see you next time for more weird gaming stuff. Bye bye!